That's all I
Ryan,
have.
why don't you pull up Amazon's margins real quick?
Well,
Yeah, I'd have more of a grin on my face than Stephen Hawking on Epstein's Island.
I'm off as a smug cock when you said that.
Wow, fiscal philosophy, you're not very smart at all. You screw up, cash flow kings. Dissector, you are an idiot.
Hello, everybody. It's Friday. It's 9 o'clock Eastern, and that's a bit of a curveball if you guys are regulars here on the channel. But do not fear, because this weekend it is double or nothing. We've been in such generous moods recently. You're getting 2 episodes this weekend. One, unfortunately, is not going to be live tomorrow as I have a funeral to attend to. And no, it's not Tactical Stock Scalpers, or it's not going to be Fraser Pairing if that little fruit ever decides to come onto the channel. But everybody, welcome in. It is Friday, 9 o'clock Eastern. We're after hours fiscal, so things could go south easy tonight.
Yeah. Also, it's not going to be MPW's funeral either.
Oh, we're going right to the 50-50 caskets early on. Welcome in, though, everybody. We have a very interesting guest once he gets in tonight. He is somebody who has been on the Cash Flow Kings before, but some recent events have happened in his portfolio where we wanted to have him on one-on-one for a real nice conversation. But welcome in, everybody. We got John in the chat, and I see John and Frank in the chat, and if John and Frank and Shamir, if Shamir comes in, guys, it's stuff will go down.
It'll be a party.
A bit of a pre-warning there. Stuff could go down if Shamir does come on. But welcome in, everybody. Glad to see you all in here. I saw Guff was in the chat. Always some interesting takes there. No, John, we need to start normalizing being men about having losses, and we can do 2 things. We can go in a little corner, cry, womp womp, you hit the like button for my YouTube channel. Oh no. Or you could be a real man's investor and just buy more Starbucks, and that's what we plan on doing. Welcome in, though. Speak of the devil. Everybody, take a drink. Shamir's in chat. Frank is in here. We apologize once again for going live Friday. We decided do we want to do a pre-recorded show, have no viewer in comments or whatever, and just post that tomorrow? Or do we want to double the fun, you could say?
Double the pleasure.
Yep. But fiscal, it's Friday night, and I don't know about you, but I think on Friday night, it might even be worse than Saturday night. People are ramped up throughout the week. The stock market was down today. People are not happy.
Yep. Yeah, they're all bizzed up, as my old man would say.
Yeah,
and,
that's
yep.
Not good. Let's just say fake
freaking
man's investors are doing that right now.
Yeah. They are freaking
out. We got Dividend Dude in here. Can we now talk about MPW once?
Not possible.
Not possible. Funny we say that once when the stock goes up 10%.
It's 12 now, by the way.
Speaking of dividend, speaking of Dividend Dude, and speaking of MPW, I think it's only right that we introduce our guest who's now a YouTuber. Everybody, go subscribe to his YouTube channel. I'll post it in, but welcome in Stabula, reoccurring guest now. Welcome in.
By the way, Jordan, I gotta compliment you. You have a very professional looking shirt.
Thank you.
Some people say I should follow your example on that.
You should. We don't need any tank tops.
As Fraser Pairing said that, though, that's all that matters. Is he said that.
Nah, you'd have to add a sweater.
Not yet.
To be following his advice.
Gotcha. But Stabulo's in a very interesting circumstance right now, because I'm hearing rumblings through the grapevine that you are 100% allocated into MPW.
You've heard rumblings. Well, it's true. It's actually been this for quite a while, to be honest.
How long?
And I think since like January, maybe, was like my first purchases. And then maybe like another month or half, and then I sold my other stocks like Fortinet, FICO, all of them went to MPW.
There we go. And everybody, if you're not on the Discords already, Stabulo is a very active and very, let's say, unfiltered member of both of our Discord. There's some really interesting conversation that goes on there. Let's just
I'm
say,
filtered, but they've been unhinged.
Let's just say he's on a heel arc, everybody. You think me and Fiscal have been bad recently? He has been on a heel arc. We saw this MPW. And we already got. Do we want to host open call-ins tonight? I didn't run this by you. This is live on air, everybody. Do we want to host open call-ins, some MPW debate, maybe a 30-minute mark?
I mean, I'm down to open the floor a little bit if we get anybody that wants to jump in.
Stabulo dressed up too for the funeral of all the people that are coming to debate him too. So he already knows.
It's actually perfect because I saw you like put the title in advance, like before all the news came out. So then I thought this is literally timed perfect.
Yeah, we the Cashflow Kings have been struggling on viewership recently, so we're looking to Dividend Dude wasn't getting the job done, you could say, and we need to up the antics, But well, welcome in though. John says so much risk, and would you like to address this comment first? Because I'm sure there's going to be a lot more like this tonight.
I don't really view MPW as risky. I really don't. All the research I've done into all like the fraud stuff, it's always seemed so. Basically, when I've looked through everything, I've gone through the conspiracy theories. It's always checked out. It might have been like a little bit hard to find all the details, and I did get mad actually initially, but eventually I found everything, and everything was exactly as it should be. And I just found so many cases of things like that. So everybody knows it's crazy undervalued. So I went all in.
Yeah,
Well, you're going hard or you're going home. We could say.
I just want to say, like, in case it's not coming across, because he's kind of downplaying it a little bit. I don't think anybody has done as much, like amongst at least the people that are holding the stock right now that I know. I don't think anybody's looked through as much research and as many documents, etc., as him. Like,
I can't read.
His confidence, I think, is the highest because he's actually done the most actual research. Like, he's read novels and novels and novels worth of information about MPW. And I'm not just talking about Fraser Paring's comments.
Well, I actually found MPW off of a 3 cheap stocks to buy video. So that's how I found it. And I might be buying too soon. But Stabulo, would you also like to tell us a little about your channel? I know you just started today. What are the plans with it? What's your goals?
Well, I've kind of had the idea of doing it for a little while. I was going to do a video on Applied Materials, which is like a very complicated semiconductor like equipment manufacturer, but it was just so complicated. There's too many things. I couldn't get everything exactly as I wanted, so I just gave up for a few months. And I don't actually know what randomly gave me the inspiration to suddenly try again, but I just did. I figured out all the graphics tools. I knew a few tips and tricks from last time. I figured out the editing software, and it's actually not too bad.
Banger timing as well with MPW being the subject of your first video today, huh?
I know. Well, I'm literally about like 10, just before I came on here, I was about 10 minutes. If I just had 10 minutes more, I could have got the next one rendering. So
Dividend Dude already comes in and he says, from FICO to MPW, what an arc. Quality compounder to falling knife. Enough. Dividend Dude, we're hosting open call-ins. We'll let you come in 15, 20 minutes.
Is it a falling knife if you pick basically the exact bottom?
True. But it went down.
What do we define as the bottom?
Today.
The bottom is wherever Jordan decides to buy a stock for the first time.
All I'm saying is, I scammed Fortinet, so I got a decent track record, but it's only been a year, so need to time to buy 20.
You're also an investment software free agent now since you unsubscribed from Qualtrim. I can't call it Baltrim now.
I actually do love that software, but that like $10 a month, that's free MPW shares. Well, not anymore.
Yeah, that's.
I keep living in the mind state that it's still like $3 a share, so I need to change my little.
By the way, the bet, everybody, that I have to buy MPW, it's still on. So that
I can't remember what the bet is.
It doesn't expire. I'll post in the private chat. So you guys, this is funny.
Yeah, no, I know
it's always related to, but I forgot for some reason.
Yeah,
I want you to just get one share, just so it can be like a small sliver.
I don't think it's happening.
I know. I'd have to buy a fractional share too if.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
$100 a share.
Yeah. All right. We got Nate, who is our favorite carnivore, if I'm correct, Fiscal. He says he is all in as well, except for his 5K of Robinhood shares. Wow, that's a portfolio to marvel about. Nate, send over your portfolio for the review series, dude.
95%. No, actually, no. He's got almost as much MPW as Leaf does, I think.
Christ, we got to get like
it's a bit less, but yeah,
we got to have like an 8-man tag team of like people on MPW and make up like 10% of the 10% of the market.
What's crazy? I'm starting to feel inadequate. Like I'm the cult leader, but I have less MPW than basically everybody else.
That's what
I think it's funny, but you might have actually like put more money into it than me. Actually, I don't know.
My cost basis is probably higher, yeah, because I'm still I'm still in the red, and it's just I've been slowly averaging down since like $10 a share. So,
Stabulo, how many shares of MPW do you have? Nate,
I can't remember the exact amount, but it's around 6,150. I think I can't remember exactly.
And that's pounds too, right? That's pounds.
Pounds.
Okay, good.
Oh, you might cut out.
Darn it. Well, in my value account, I'm at 2,800, and I have a few hundred in my Robinhood account as well, which is a different project, so I don't bring it up as much.
Not bad. Just include it anyway. It's $100 a share. You know, you have to count all of them.
If it's still somehow under 5 on Monday, I might just get up to 3K. A nice even 3,000 shares. You know?
So all the money that Nate is saving from not buying carbs and vegetables, he's putting all that money into MPW. He's a carnivore and an MPW bag holder, so I can respect him for that. Dividend Dude comes in. All right, Dividend Dude, you're gonna have your chance to talk your stuff tonight. We're open call is anybody can come in too.
I'm gonna guess he's gonna say that their FFO went down and therefore it's a bad business and it's a fall.
I'd like to confront Dividend Dude on the income style.
Yeah, I predict that's going to be the argument, because if the FFO went down, it means that all the hospitals suck and they're not even worth $500 worth of Fraser's monopoly money.
Wait till our shut your mouth segment. I think there's a lot of potential for fiscal. Do we want to save the Fraser for tomorrow's thing, like go real in depth into it, or cover a little bit tonight and a whole lot of it for tomorrow's?
We'll see. We'll see how things develop. But yeah,
anything can happen past 9 o'clock.
Unfortunately, I couldn't. I'm glad I screenshotted the comment because I couldn't actually bring it back after I hit it.
There you go.
Stocks
are on sale again. Yep, they are.
And I've got another hot take. Whenever I ask what people hate about MPW, because they seem to hate it so much, they never know. They never seem to give me a reason why.
The FFO went down, bro.
The FFO went down and Fiscal owned it. It makes video, and he's the cult leader.
Stewart had a problem, so the whole portfolio is worthless because of Stewart. Don't you understand?
Yeah, I've moved more towards the middle on the concentration of MPW hate.
Don't forget about the fraud by Ballsag and also the sealed documents. The sealed documents, it's all there.
It just means nowhere in like the requirements for any of the stocks that I buy. Like it just for you guys
from day one, they've been deceiving the SEC, PwC, their auditor. They pulled the wool over their eyes. Them and Ralph De La Torre probably plotted it on his yacht and then took a trip on a private jet to Switzerland.
You know what we got to do? We got
to where they hid the sealed documents. Still waiting for those.
For our soundboard, we got to get like a. I've been watching a bunch of wrestling recently, so we got to get like the what sound effect, you know, like what Stone Cold would do after somebody talks. What? So we got to have that. We already got the Rock stuff. You know, I think there's a lot of potential here with our WWE meme potential there.
Undertaker throwing Mankind off a Hell in a Cell,
dude. All right, do we want to get into the TKO conversation? Big couple weeks for TKO. So they had WrestleMania last Saturday and Sunday, and I can confidently say it was probably the best main event like all time. Like it was insane, dude. It was a memory. It was a trip down memory lane. Like it was literally like going through a time machine. You know, they had John Cena come out, then the Undertaker came out. It was mayhem.
Whoa, look who we got.
Wow. Echoes knows what's up. He has those notifications on. He's subscribed. He's a real man's investor.
If he was in Classroom of the Elite, he would be in Class A. He knows what I'm talking about.
I'm still waiting for Echo's video on Commer too. But speaking of that whole situation, next week we have a good guest. I'll just say that.
We have you have him on.
We have a real good guest. No.
That was shut down the internet.
Shh, dude, if we had Commer on, there's no chance it would happen, but that would just be amazing. That would be amazing. This is good. What's a better deal, Nike or McDonald's? Probably McDonald's to be. Ooh, I don't know actually.
That is a hard one.
Ooh, this is a good deal. Battle of the retail companies.
Oh Lord.
I feel like it's hard to tell the value of McDonald's. From what I know, the change in like the business model. So it looks like the revenue is going down, but it's not as it looks.
Yeah,
So
I think
don't know.
Oh man.
But
Nike
does have a moat,
Nike,
so.
if you're looking at historicals, it's really underpriced. But if you're looking at like DCFs or like any of like, the 7 pillars, as Paul would say, then it's still overpriced. So I think I honestly think with Nike, you got to look at historicals. But I think I have been adding to Nike, and I'll cover that in tomorrow's stream. Dividend Dude, you got to come in here, dude. Once we post the link, you're talking. Well, I expect this talk to be backed up.
MPW, it's so bad.
This is
Come on now.
This is
look. I'm like Rick Astley when it comes to MPW. Never gonna give it up. Never gonna let you down.
Yeah,
it's just so good when you look into it.
It's the SA Quant
I don't
REIT
care what
analyst.
anyone says.
I wouldn't critique him. He's the SA Quant REIT analyst. I would say honestly, Frank says McDonald's over Nike. Geez, man. I guess what's our votes here? McDonald's or Nike?
Ooh.
I'll vote McDonald's.
What's McDonald's?
Yeah,
Is it like
McDonald's,
270 still?
Yeah.
If it's like near 270, maybe. I don't know, man.
Ooh. Yeah. I'll go.
Nike's not doing direct to consumer either. 267. Oh, that's actually interesting. It's funny because both of them, like if you look at like the DCFs and all those other valuation metrics that I think are really overblown, you could say. They're both really overpriced. But historically speaking, I'd probably say I'm gonna say Nike.
Dang.
I'm gonna say Nike.
Yeah, no. So honestly, though, McDonald's I think has the addictive product thing going for it. To be real with you, the salt, fat, sugar, all that, the caffeine. They have, they sell a lot of their drinks, the soft drinks and the coffees and stuff like that.
I think if Cosmix is actually as big of a deal that people like keep saying it is, then I'd say McDonald's, but there's just not a lot of history. Yeah. I think Nike though. I think from somebody who's in Gen Z, I think somebody who's a millennial, maybe younger millennial or Gen Z with Nike, you see it way more, I guess, maybe. And you could say that with Apple too, I think.
I mean, and this could be because I'm a 90s kid, but growing up, I always heard how McDonald's does really well in both good and bad economic times because, hey, like you can't, maybe, you're tightening the belt, you can't afford the Starbucks, so maybe you go to McDonald's instead, or you can't afford the nice sit-down restaurants, so you hit McDonald's instead. And I don't know if during tough times I'm gonna buy $100 sneakers at Nike.
Yeah, I am an
maybe
investor.
That's why you buy Nike. Also,
I think like Nike's, they messed up apparently going direct to consumer, and that's why they've had a giant sell off along with everything else kind of selling off. But I think 88, I think below 90 is really solid. If we were, I know we're probably not gonna go into a bull run, but you never know. Nate comes in. I'm an investor. MPW is very undervalued compared to its peers. Nate, you gotta ask Dividend Dude, the Seeking Alpha Quant REIT analyst. You need to, if you think it's undervalued, make sure to confirm with him before. Baby boomers will be spending a lot at hospitals. SAD diet helps hospitals. PwC is an accounting firm. Got your due diligence down. I remember trying to ban Ryan and Fiscal from their own show. He was live on as a guest. That might be comment of the year. Somebody put that in the Discord. That might be
that
comment
needs to
of
go
the
in
year.
there.
Oh man. Okay, this one I gotta show this comment.
Is
So
it the
I definitely I feel your pain, man. I owe a little bit myself. I don't know how bad your damage is, but I owe them $1,200. Ugh. It hurts.
Yeah.
Stings a little.
I'm still dependent, but if it makes you guys feel any better with some of the suffering recently, I spilled some of my Starbucks today and I was not happy about it. It was a free drink too, so I know Guff is probably celebrating right now in the chat.
Right.
Let's see. I can wait for years to recover. My home was paid off. Free money, dude. Ooh, Hershey or McDonald's? Ugh. I'd say McDonald's, honestly.
I
Hershey's
feel like
under-
I'd have to look into the cocoa prices.
Yeah, the cocoa price.
And if I could figure it out, Hershey's.
Yeah, definitely. But it's like a really historically alarming spike if you like see it. But yeah.
I might stick with McDonald's on that one.
Yeah, like the value is definitely nicer for Hershey, but the questions regarding their future cash flows. I think their future cash flows.
These questions. What is it with this street cleaner stuff?
Oh, the street cleaner. Where's the street
What
cleaner?
is
Oh,
it?
so do you get that joke or no?
No.
Okay, so Camaro on his streams will be like, he'll mention some of the members in the Discord. He'll be like, we have somebody in the Discord who works at Walmart. He is 18 years old. He is going to be a millionaire. He's investing in Tesla.
He's gonna retire next year.
He's going to be a millionaire.
I've already retired.
And then he just talks about like all these people in his Discord with shitty jobs. We have over here, he works at a 7-Eleven. He is a cashier. He is buying NVIDIA. So he is going to be a millionaire.
But if you disagree with him, he will make fun of your job.
Oh, look at it. It's a doctor. He don't know anything. The doctor don't have to be very smart. He want to be like the football player, the jock football player. He's the prom king, the prom queen. He dating the hot girlfriend with a nice butt and big breasts. He's a real nice,
You've been practicing this.
I know, dude. My Camaro impression, when it's spot on, it is there. MPW will die out. Amazon will make insurance in their own hospitals. Well, Kroger's doomed then too. Amazon,
I mean, they did buy Whole Foods. Maybe hospitals are next.
Yeah, I know. I remember when everybody thought Whole Foods was going to take over grocery.
Oh my gosh.
That wasn't even that long ago.
$7 cucumber water.
Yeah.
It's funny because I've never even seen a Whole Foods in the UK. I don't think
it's more of a US like hippie.
No Kroger's. No.
Nah, that's
Don't know it.
unfortunate. Never. I haven't
I've never even seen a Home Depot. We have B&Q.
Home Depot's also looking pretty attractive in price, Fiscal. I didn't know if you saw, but I'm liking like 310, 320. I'd probably start a little entry price then. Serious question. What is you are a I'll let you answer, but I'm pretty sure you work in a hospital.
I'm just a care assistant. I was looking for those people.
Okay, there you
That's
go.
it. And I don't have
Insider
6,000 shares
information,
of Applied Materials. Definitely not.
So,
I'd be loaded if that was the case.
yeah, he's also
I don't have any
doing-
shares of that. in fact.
Wait till his YouTube gets monetized.
He's doing
too.
DD on hospitals at work.
Stewart has liquidity issues and has accumulated large losses.
So here's a question. Who here has seen Steward's balance sheet or financials? The answer is nobody. Nobody has, except
The
for
very old
Stewart.
ones.
Stewart has seen their own financials. MPW's management has seen their financials, and their ABLs have also seen their financials. The public has not seen Steward's financials. So I would be careful making, yes, they have issues for sure, but we only know that because of what MPW's management has told us about.
Why'd halt yourself there, Fiscal? Because Dividend Dude has actually seen their financials.
He's seen Steward.
Don't seek an alpha.
Steward's financials. Okay.
Dividend Dude, I gotta confront you on the Delta hate too, because I was getting some fake slander about NFTs. That was, we could discuss the sponsor here. I think. Doesn't Pritz eat all gruel?
I don't know what gruel is.
Is Debulo a candle? He's a candle factor worker, or is he stick cleaner? He's living up Daddy's money. Oh no, Matt's in here, dude. If we get
Oh,
Matt and
Lord.
Stabulo in it, dude. Oh no,
Oh,
this could be. This is the start of a civil war, everybody. If Matt
oh
gets in here,
God. Get
all right, I'm
Dividend
gonna
Dude
post
on.
the link in the chat, everybody. So
And
if you want
Dividend
to come
Profit.
in, all right. So we'll start open call-ins. This will be interesting. I'm just gonna say,
Okay.
get ready.
DD is showing us Stewart's financials from 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
The
a
one thing you
freaking
want to
joke,
know
dude.
is
Like, I'm talking about their current ones that are not public.
All right, you guys. So if you want to join, there's the link for everybody. Back to WWE and TKO though. This
Oh,
weekend
yeah.
is also UFC 300 tomorrow, and it's going to be the biggest event, like probably all time UFC wise. I really, oh man, I know, like I'm probably emotionally a little hyped right now about WWE. They're at a really good spot, and I think the UFC is too. And I'm really like, I'm close to maybe adding more, and they don't even pay a dividend.
I would say they do have a moat.
They do have a moat.
Literally.
More of a moat than Crocs, that's for sure.
Oh, true.
No,
True.
but yeah, I'm really close to potentially adding more. And analysts, I know it's stupid, but analysts, like this is the one time I actually look at like what analysts think because they're newer IPO, spinoff, whatever, and it's just harder to see historicals in terms of valuation. So I'm looking a little bit at that, and they're seeing like a high of 130, 140 for it, low 70s. I only have 2 shares. I got in at 78 and it's at like 93 right now. Favorite diva. Who's Kieran Cross's wife? That lady. Right? Any of the wrestling fans that know. I'm not much of a female wrestling guy. Maybe Rhea Ripley. She's decent too. Decent looking. Okay, Matt's not coming in. That's unfortunate. That would have been fireworks. That would have sent the Cash Flow Kings overboard. There you go. I'm
1,000 viewers.
Yeah, I know. That would have got us over the monetization hump, that's for sure. We're pretty
We don't do
close,
it for the money, though.
Yeah, we don't do it for the money.
Oh,
We do it for the
no.
principle.
I literally don't do it for the money.
Yeah, what money?
Yeah.
We don't do it for the money here. We do it for the principle, everybody. Alex Pereira, there you go. I really hope the buys on MPW afters are institutional buys and not shorts closing. Any comments?
I don't think the after hours volume, like it's a really super big spike up, but you'll look at it and it'll be like 20,000 shares or something stupid. It's not gonna, it won't have been enough for any major shorts to close. I would almost guarantee that.
Yeah. If they're wrong on MPW, they are so screwed. It's unbelievable. Because I was actually looking into to like have short positions. Well, I imagine if you're doing it on like a broker, that broker itself has got to have like really good like credit worthiness. So they'll have the money to pay for them shorts if all goes wrong.
You're planning to make content other than MPW related, or is it just gonna be an MPW channel? You're gonna be the cult leader. You're gonna be like Kylo Ren, Fiscal. No, you're Vader and Fiscal's Emperor Palpatine.
Well, I've not given up on making one of the applied materials yet, but I'm not too sure yet. I doubt it will only be MPW. It'll just be too boring. Plus, it's just very coincidental. There's been like loads of news recently as soon as I started. But I'll probably look to do other stuff.
Boo. Any opinions on McDonald's opening their own coffee shops, Cosmics in the near future? How does this affect your look on Starbucks? Fiscal actually made a really good comparison, and this was with Bros. What's the
Bros.
Dutch Bros. That it's basically gonna be like a Burger King and McDonald's. I think Starbucks is. They already deal with like local coffee shops and other chains.
Yeah,
Which they actually kind of have stomped out in the recent years, so I'm not really worried about that.
Yeah, I generally like, and I'm not in Starbucks, so I don't have a dog in this fight yet. But I would generally say, for this analogy, Starbucks is the McDonald's or the Coca-Cola of coffee shops, and your Dutch Bros or your Cosmics or whatever will be the Burger King or the Pepsi in that kind of analogy. Just because there's a strong number 2 doesn't mean that number 1 loses anything necessarily.
Yeah. Or if we want to get
I've never seen a Cosmics. Are they popular? I don't think
No,
no.
there's I think
It's
there's
like
literally one store.
it's just a concept right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we are bullish though. Fiscal, you made a Starbucks video today, and I gotta confront you on it.
Okay.
So 75 is the price you said like you'd start looking, right?
Yeah, I'm interested at 75.
Okay. What was the lowest you think you can possibly get? I know you can't predict the future on your DCF models.
If you make like really kind of crappy assumptions, probably like the 50s.
Okay. I just man, it's already on like a 20% dip, I think, in the last year.
Yeah.
And I think from its all-time high, which you could argue is kind of inflated in 2021, maybe
Mhm.
down 30-40%.
Mm-hmm.
I think with a company like Starbucks, it wouldn't be the wisest. I just don't. I feel like it can go up anytime. I think
It
a
could.
lot of, if you look at the reasons like why they're actually trading down, I can't find any like legitimate. The boycotts I think are very stupid, and
So I do think there is like one legitimate concern
China.
because there's, I mean, and like keep in mind, I don't necessarily buy into this. Otherwise, I wouldn't touch Starbucks with a 10-foot pole, no, at any price, right?
Yeah.
But I think people are concerned. People who are concerned enough about China to avoid Chinese stocks, they have to look hard at any stocks they have that have a lot of their growth or business coming from China, because it's not just about the CCP is going to take over and kick everybody out. It's not just that. There are people sounding the alarm of, oh, the Chinese economy is failing, Evergrande, and yada, yada, yada. So if that is the issue, where are these Chinese people going to come up with the money to spend on Starbucks if their economy actually collapses? Right.
Yeah.
So, and that's one of the concerns people have for a company like Alibaba as well. How are these Chinese companies going to keep growing if, their economy collapses? Granted, I don't think their economy is going to collapse. To them, 4% growth is considered a recession. And, I just think that it's largely overblown. And I don't think the CCP is going to just take everything over and kick all the Americans out. And I mean, obviously, because I hold BABA, right? So I just think like, hey, if something bad does happen with their economy, I need to be careful about multiple points of exposure, right? So more margin of safety is better if I'm basically, if I've got a stock where a lot of what's contributing to the price is the growth in China, when maybe the growth in China isn't going to be quite that great for, a certain amount of time.
I can respect that. We'll get Dividend Dude in here, and he can fact check you there too. Sure. He's got a fair price, 120, 130. We're around the same. Wait, his lowest price his lowest was 130, I think.
I mean, that almost seems arbitrary. Like, what is that? Like, what model exactly tells you that it's? I mean, there's analysts that say it's going to be 150, so maybe there is something to it. But I can't wrap my hand around that price, like paying that price.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I like it a lot right now, and you're gonna see in tomorrow's video, which it's gonna be like a weekly recap combined with a live. So I've been loading up recently, and if it gets below like 80, it gets into the 70s, I might go heavy into it. I'm already kind of heavy into it, but yeah, I just think that it's already undervalued. What, like 20-30%? If you look at a lot of fair prices, a lot of people are saying 115, 130s.
So I'm going to defend Starbucks for a second here.
Oh yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I wanted to bring that up.
All right. So I think and I brought this up in my Starbucks video, by the way, but I think I'm not as worried about, like I did mention, coffee beans are a commodity, right? But I think Starbucks, similar to a tobacco company, actually has a lot of pricing power, right? And I like for example, can you envision the typical Starbucks customer passing on it because the price of their favorite drink went from $7 to $7.50?
Especially if they're like an airport, or if a lot of people use Starbucks as like an emotional outlet. You know what I mean? Like You look forward
And
to going to Starbucks.
it is for
They're
some
not
people
gonna.
view it as a status thing, similar to like having an iPhone instead of a Samsung or whatever. And in those instances, you have a lot of pricing power. And so, like, if you look at their gross margins, not only are they like really consistent recently, but they're even higher than they were 10 years ago. And I think that that's largely them realizing, oh, you know what? We can raise these prices and bitches are going to still want their Starbucks.
Woo-hoo.
So,
Woo-hoo.
I'm not as worried about it from that perspective. Just
Yeah,
to,
I'm with you.
kind of clear that up.
And I think, yeah, coffee beans. I think that was another issue with like global warming. I remember a few years ago, people were like freaking out when it was trading in the 60s.
I mean, if
Global warming is going to send coffee
here's
beans
the thing: if
down.
global warming goes as bad as they say it will, like we're on, we're all in a world of hurt, no matter what stocks we have in our portfolio at that point.
Yeah.
Just like if it gets to the point where things really break down with China and they like invade Taiwan and we go to war, man, it won't matter what stocks you have at that point. We're all in some trouble.
Yeah, I think, and fam, here with your point, it's funny because it's actually the woke people that are attacking them right now. It's not, the woke, go broke. That's typically like Republicans that are calling for boycotts, kind of like a Target thing. But it's actually more like Democratic people and like liberals that are kind of actually doing damage to Starbucks, which is funny. But I think if you actually look at some of the reasons why they're trading down, and we're gonna have Dividend Dude here in a second, this will be good. But if you look hard at like the unions and the Palestine thing, it's genuinely one of the dumbest reasons I've ever seen for a sell-off. So I'm liking it as a good long-term buying opportunity. All right. Yes, it is a legal drug. All right, time to introduce our first viewer, Colin, and this is the Seeking Alpha quant analyst, REIT analyst, Twitter analyst, Dividend Dude. Welcome in.
Thank you guys.
How do you get all that on a business card?
Yeah, we got to get a good updated bio business card.
Yeah, I do have to make a business card. But why don't we just talk about some MPW? I heard you guys, two people on the right, you guys really like MPW.
I've never bought
Hey, not me,
MPW.
not me.
Never.
I'm in the
Yeah, I
middle.
said the two guys on the right. We got Fiscal and Stabulo.
Oh.
Some things I have to point out. I've been doing a little bit due diligence. The REIT analyst has to look into those REITs.
So this should be good.
doing some due diligence, okay? Not only so MPW is allocated 20% to Steward, around 20%. Realty income.
That's way less than it used
Realty
to be.
income doesn't allocate more than basically 6 or 7%. I mean, they're much more diversified, obviously much more large REIT. I get that, I understand that, but 20% is a lot. That's a fifth of the company, first of all. And I do understand. Wait, I know you guys are going to say. Just let me finish, and then you guys can talk. All right.
That's what she said.
All right. But all right. So 20%. Not only are Steward's financials absolutely disgusting. I mean, like just
I saw the one you posted from 4 years
2019. Yes,
ago.
I know they're 3 years ago. That's the latest ones they have. They're disgusting. I don't think they've gotten better now that they're not able to pay the rent. All right. And not only that, but if you do a little bit of a deeper dive into this, a deeper dive than what's face value, we could highlight that basically they have other exposure to medical properties trust. They have a $362 million loan to affiliates of Steward, and they also hold a 10% investment in Steward. So this company that is struggling to pay their rent, they have a 20% exposure to, and they're beyond exposed just from that 20%. And that's why I'm extremely bearish on the company. I think 20% of the company is basically gone with how bad Steward's financials are. I mean, obviously they have maybe the assets, but it's just a disgusting situation to me. I don't think it's something you want to be in. And that's my take. It's mainly around Steward, yes, but I think that's the major issue. Would you guys like to
I'm not
respond?
sure what to say, really. So you got very old financial statements you're looking at. You mentioned loans.
They're 4
I
years
think
ago.
that loan is from a joint venture where they get some hospitals. These were the motor hospitals, people. Yeah, the motor hospitals. Wait, are they the ones that the conspiracy?
The ones in Malta, yeah, the ones in Malta.
It's a $362 million loan with affiliates of Steward. They're associated to Steward.
A lot of MPW's loans have a lot of collateral. Like, if anything happens to Steward, they'll basically just take the full company, and that'll be it. They'll get paid back.
The company, based on 3 or 4 years ago, has more liabilities than assets.
I don't know.
And if they can't
Yeah,
pay,
but-
it's shown
but
that it
no,
probably got
right.
worse.
The fact that Stewart has more liabilities than assets doesn't matter if the debt that we're talking about is secured against assets and other debt may be unsecured, because the secured debtor gets higher priority than unsecured debtors. So MPW is subordinate to the other asset-based lenders in terms of like bridge loans, but a lot of MPW's other financing they've given to Stewart is secured against assets. Am I understanding that right, Jordan? Or
Yeah, I
explaining
think
that
that
right?
is right. Yeah, that is right.
You feel comfortable with a 20% allocation, a 10% equity in MPW, loans with affiliates of MPW. I mean,
Well,
they have a load of exposure.
so-
I mean, to
so-
Stewart. Sorry, to Stewart.
So,
But they have a load of exposure to Stewart, which is struggling financially.
all right. So I think it's safe to say that you're not going to get a stock that's like 80% undervalued
80%.
for
Right,
free.
you think it's worth $15?
I mean, in that
More,
ballpark, it might
probably.
be 13. Like, I mean, it's in that range. Yes.
I think it's worth maybe $5. Maybe.
Where are you coming up with that number?
So there's a valuation. I think the growth rate would be like about 1 or 2%.
The growth rate. The guy's talking about the growth rate. We're not.
Yeah, the growth
we're not
rate's like
basing
1 or
anything on-
2%.
We're not basing anything off of growth, though. Like, we're strictly like, I mean, for my part, I'm strictly looking at the balance sheet difference between asset and liability, and how much equity there is, and what a normal multiple of that equity is for peers. That's how I arrived at my valuation.
But
So-
with 20% of their business, they're struggling to collect revenue, and that company is doing extremely horrible. And they also invest in this company.
They've had tenants go bankrupt before, and they're getting their money from them. So, like, Stewart going bankrupt almost doesn't really, like, it maybe matters somewhat in the short run, but like ultimately MPW is very good about making sure that their master leases are ironclad, that the support that they do give is secured against the better parts of the business of the tenants, even if the tenants are bad. Like, they've literally had a tenant file for bankruptcy, but keep leasing other hospitals from them that were cash flow positive, as well as agree to keep paying them on back rent that they owed, even though they went bankrupt. And all their other debt got
like a little theory as well for why they have such tenant concentration. So if you think before the pandemic, hospital operators were probably considered like very, like 100% tenants, I would imagine, because you probably think everyone's always going to be going to the hospitals. But then the pandemic came around, and their procedures that actually make a lot of money are the ones that got
electives.
cancelled. So
yeah, all electives were.
Maybe that's why they have such like high tenant concentrations.
Yeah,
I'd have to look into it, but just,
I mean,
that's definitely part of it. Like, elective procedures were basically not able to happen for maybe as much as 2 years in some cases, and those are the highest margin procedures for hospitals to do. That's their bread and butter. That's where they actually make their money. But instead, they had to have round the clock, like, staff geared up to the gills with PPE or whatever, and also wages like through the roof to get people to basically take hazard pay to work on those COVID riddled patients. Like, it was definitely bad times for hospital operators.
Seems to me like you guys are literally just trying to buy some buildings. That's
I mean,
really what it is.
in a sense, I mean, that's what every
It
REIT
makes
is.
sense.
It's just
Is
a
that
bunch of
real
buildings.
estate? No.
Every
But you're
REIT
talking
is
about buildings, not a business. You're not.
That's what
You're
every
just trying to
REIT
buy
is,
the
though.
value of the
Like,
buildings, which
that is
I think should be
literally-
questioned. Like I
That's
said
literally
before,
what Realty Income, Vici.
that's different though. That's an actual
Oh.
underlying
No,
business
it's just a
that
bunch of
grows over
buildings.
time.
This is literally like what a REIT is. It's a bunch of buildings, dude. Like,
No. There's a difference between a business and just a bunch of buildings. You said it yourself. You're not worried about MPW's growth. You're not worried about the company growing. You're just worried about the value of the property that they have. A company like Vici, a company like Realty Income, even though I may not like Realty Income as much as Vici, is growing over time. They're growing how much they're collecting in rent over time. Their value of properties is going up over time. MPW, on the other hand, your thesis is literally just buying the value of the buildings. It's
isn't Vici like very high concentration of tenants?
They do have a high concentration.
Not anymore. They were like 2 years ago.
Yeah, but they actually have tenants that can pay their full rent on time.
And they'll always be able
MPW
to,
like magically predict the pandemic and then kick all the operators out before they go into issues.
I think there's a world where MPW does really well and Steward may recover. I just think it's a gamble. That I just think it's a complete gamble. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes with some of these.
Why is it a gamble?
I just explained they're overly exposed to a struggling tenant steward. They're overly exposed to it not only with the properties that they're leased out to, but also with the equity stake they have in it and the loan with their affiliates. I think it's not a good situation. They also have a load of debt, and they can't dilute shares for money because their share price is so cheap. So I don't think it's a great investment by any means.
So, in fact, recently MPW for 5 hospitals in Utah. In fact, these hospitals used to be leased to Steward, but then they got transferred to Common Spirit, I think it is, and 5 hospitals near $1.2 billion, just like that.
A lot of that money's probably going to the dividend.
No, the dividend's like 70 something million dollars. Like the dividend doesn't like.
Don't they need?
Could you imagine they pay $1 billion out in a dividend every single quarter?
Hey, I'll take a $1 billion dividend. Get most of my cost basis back.
Guff comes in and says, "This guy acts like he calls the CEO over and goes over the day with Vici."
Wow, how do I act like that? That doesn't make any sense. I don't act like that.
I know I've said it before, but Vici seems very similar to MPW. I know it might seem a hot take, but they have the kind.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of real estate companies
that is a
similar.
disgustingly bad take.
It's a different sector. It's a different sector, but yeah, like there are certain similarities. But they're growing FFO. It's like at one point in time, MPW was also growing FFO until a big problem happened that made the FFO go down. It's like, but that's not possible.
It's a completely hospitals and casinos are completely different.
They're different,
and also I'll say hospitals are more needed.
Also, Vici has the highest quality casinos on the Las Vegas Strip.
MPW arguably has the highest quality hospitals. Like,
how do you know that? You're just saying that. You don't know that for sure. And
hey, Stabulo has the inside due diligence.
Oh yeah.
That's just literally like come on. And I just think you're just buying a bunch of buildings, hoping for them to be worth more. It's just not a good situation.
They are worth what they're worth every single time. So
yeah, and I would question the value of those.
What it is on the balance sheet.
The ones they've just sold validate the value. Like,
not every. You said they used to be leased out to Steward, and now they're not. I think the ones that are leased out to Steward, you could question the value of them because Steward can't pay their full in rent.
Well, these got transferred in. I think it was May 2023. So.
Yeah, they're working on replacing Steward in a number of their facilities. The issue they're running into is state regulators are slowing down that process of booting. Like the state regulators say they want Steward out, and Steward's like, yeah, we want out too. And MPW is like, yes, please let us give it to somebody that'll pay rent. And the process is just really slow, especially on the East Coast.
That was such a crazy situation in Connecticut. For them to sell 3 hospitals in like nearly 2 years. How crazy is that? Yeah. Well, that's got approved recently as well.
Yeah.
So it's all.
But yeah, anything happening in Massachusetts will probably take just as long. That's the real crime.
All right. Well,
and also that stewardship thing, which is meant to be Steward's most best asset, that's across multiple states. So that could take a while.
I wouldn't short the company because I think it could do well, but I don't know.
And shorting is.
I think if you short it, you're guaranteed. Just get liquidated.
Eventually. No, I said I wouldn't. I wouldn't short any company. I just think it's risky.
That's real. That's not real man's investing. Shorting. We don't endorse that here on the channel. Paul.
I'm gonna short.
Guff is like insulting all of us right now. I think fiscal year BS is not valid against. Dividend Dude math homework came back with show your work on it all the time. Dividend Dude sounds like a squatter. But we also did have a good question.
All right, what is this? Why am I getting attacked for like no reason? What is going on?
For real. Stop the Dividend Dude hate.
Exactly.
Endorse
Facts.
love.
We got a lot of MPW bulls in the audience. That's why.
Yeah, that's
It's a cult, and I'm the leader, bro.
See,
And
Fiscal, you
also, a
gotta
lot
get,
of
like,
the
a
answers
custom
I've given. There's
Fiscal, I
better
think we should
answers.
get like custom matching robes, and it, like on the front of it, I could have like a Starbucks, and on the front of yours, you could have like an MPW, and we could each have like Cashflow Kings logos on it. Even Vici has recently invested in care facilities with the wellness centers they just purchased. So Vici is an MPW wannabe.
all right, see that.
Hospitals.
Someone say cold.
I mean, hypothetically, in the long run, hospitals are probably a good bet. I think.
We are
In the long run,
healthcare.
telecoms were a good bet. Look at Verizon and AT&T.
I'm doing okay on my Verizon,
They don't grow free cash flow. They have a lot of debt.
but
They don't grow
Wait,
revenue.
went up.
You may have got a short price swing, but the fundamentals are not improving.
it's almost like valuation matters, and if you get it cheap enough, it doesn't matter that.
Like
they're
we
not
said,
improving.
it seems like you're swing trading, not investing.
Not
That's
at
what
all.
it seems like to me.
No, I'm
It
just.
seems like you're swing trading Verizon.
I mean,
And in the short
I
term,
guess
you're
you
priced
could call it that. Like when it gets past what I think its fair value is, yeah, I'll probably get rid of it. But if it's undervalued, I'll buy it.
Weren't you talking about not talking about short term investments, and then you're like, oh, short term, my Verizon's doing pretty well.
I mean, it's not that short term. I've had it for over a year.
I mean, that's
Short
it's like
to medium.
short,
I
medium.
And Dividend Dude, he's had a quite track record of selling stuff. Do you still have realty income? You keep saying that you're getting rid of it.
Oh, well, we gotta
in
get
case
to
it was
this.
somewhere better.
Oh, we need to get
Wait,
to the realty income
you
discussion.
keep saying that. What's going on?
Yeah, because I'm gonna get rid of it.
Oh,
When?
why?
Because
There's
it's,
nothing on sale that makes it worth the opportunity cost.
Every time I look at it, it's like a drag on my portfolio.
Because
And,
interest rates are high.
No. Even if the company was up and I'd look at it, it'd be a drag on my portfolio. When I look at the fundamentals of the company, it's not inspiring. It grows too slow. I don't. It's that simple. I mean, that's literally all I can.
All right.
I have to agree with I have to agree with him on that. Like realty income, like even though I have some, it's because you all forced me to buy it.
Yeah, boy.
It's kind of it's at a point where it's like unless it's like dirt cheap, like MPW cheap,
Yeah.
like why? Like
What would you consider like dirt cheap for realty income?
for realty income?
I know we've talked about like 45 below.
Drop it 85% from the
To be
top.
honest, and I think people talk about the price, the valuation being cheaper, but there's a reason for that. Now the growth expectations are lower, so the valuation is cheaper. I mean, I made a mistake buying it in the first place, I think. So,
When did you
just
buy it?
recognizing that. I don't remember, to be honest. I think I don't know. I think it was like maybe a little bit over half a year ago. I don't know if it was shorter or longer, something around that point. And I'm down about 10%, but
Oh, that's nothing.
So
Oh,
I mean, honestly,
that's not even bad. I thought you were okay.
Even
you
at
thought it was
today's,
down more?
by the way, even at today's price, realty income is 1.36 price to book. Now I know just viewing it as a bunch of buildings is maybe a mistake to some people, but
I mean, realty income actually grows.
I mean, barely according to you.
Yes, barely, but it actually grows.
But I mean, we're talking about a 36% premium on those barely. We're talking about 1% rent escalators. I mean, like 3 or 4% of their portfolio leased to Walgreens, which everybody thinks is going to zero. So, it's like it's
Straight
kind
after,
of
and then after that, CVS.
But anyways, yeah, like if realty income got to like maybe a 0.8 price to book or something, like then we'd be talking like value, I think.
Yeah, I'm collecting my dividend and then.
But that would be like a 35%, 40% drop though. So.
Yeah.
All right. So with realty income, I thought you were down more by the way you were talking about it. But I feel everybody want to ask everybody in the comment section. I want to ask all three of you: how do you lose money in the stock market? How do you lose money
when you're down in a company?
Yes,
By Vici.
By selling the bottom.
That's what I'm saying. I think as an investor, and I know we like to always look at performance, and I know that's part of like the Joseph Carlson compounder strategy. I get it.
Wait. Listen. Why do you,
I know,
why
as
do you
soon
keep
as you
calling
mentioned
it
Joseph
Joseph
Carlson.
Carlson compound strategy? That's not his
Because
strategy.
when I
It's
hear
his
the word
title that.
compounders, I have to assume.
Oh, you mic went off.
Oh.
No.
No.
You mic.
This is getting ridiculous. Now I got.
Oh, it's gonna go.
All right. Well, what I was going to say in response to that is that Warren Buffett has been talking and discussing compounding for decades upon decades. I wouldn't put that on Joseph Carlson just because he says it a lot, right?
No, I
don't
just
like
think
that. You know,
he says it a lot, so I associate it with like Joseph Carlson. He talks about, I'd like to buy high quality compounders. I like companies that consistently grow their free
he has
cash flow.
consistently beat that.
Buys Estee Lauder and then just bins it off.
I'm not a
brand
Joseph
Estee.
Carlson hater
Never
anymore
mentions it
either.
again.
You've made your
That's
peace.
a Joseph Carlson
Yeah, we've
special.
made our peace, so I don't have any ill will against Joseph Carlson. I'm just saying, and we can talk about Joseph Carlson, how I think he sells a little too soon. But I think as an investor, I just think during right now is literally the worst time. It's really likely that Realty Income long term is still going to recover. I think I'd continue to hold on to it. If it gets to like 45 or something really dirt cheap, I'd buy more. And then eventually it will recover. And but I would sell. I'll say this, I will sell, and it would have to be like at a really good opportunity, like cost wise.
Eventually,
Like, I don't see anything that where are you going to reallocate the money into?
Visa, S&P Global, and I'd probably buy a little bit more Starbucks, maybe just a little bit. And I'm looking at Salesforce and Zoetis right now. I do more due diligence. Go for those.
Why Salesforce?
I think it's
I'm joking.
You know, it just recently initiated the dividend, started doing buybacks. I think it's a great quality company. It's not too pricey. It's a little bit, but I think it's a good company.
I just think with Realty Income, it's literally the worst time to sell right now, probably.
Possibly.
I don't think it's the worst time.
It may not be the worst time.
Like interest rate wise.
It could always go lower, I guess. But yeah, like from the perspective of interest rates, yielders do better in a lower interest rate environment because the yield is more attractive than treasuries. Like right now, what's Realty Income yielding at 5.5%, 6%, whatever. If you can get 5% on a treasury, which is, I would think, a much less risky and more secure investment, a lot of money will flow out of something like Realty Income, which even though it's pretty safe, and I said this on Discord, it's pretty safe.
Plain chicken breast. It gets the job done.
It's pretty safe, but it's not safe the way a treasury bill is. So money flows out of these yielders, and that's the reason why like Verizon like took a big dump in late 2022 and early 2023. And a lot of other companies that are known for their really consistent yield that aren't growing super fast, right? But it's like, oh, this is a reliable, pretty safe place to put your money. You can collect your check every quarter or every month in the case of Realty Income, and you're just good. Well, suddenly you can get an as good, or in some cases higher, much, much safer, risk-free, treasuries are as close to risk-free as you can get return. Of course, like especially like amongst retired people that are relying on that yield, it's gonna flow out of something like Realty Income that was at the time like 3 or 3.5% and into like the 4, 4.5, 5% treasuries. Like that makes sense. But then when interest rates go back down, some of that money will flow back the other way. And I think, at these prices, yeah, you'll probably benefit from that if interest rates are cut in the future with Realty Income. And to a greater extent than you might benefit from, reallocating that money into something else. But hey, maybe one of those other companies just takes off in a vertical line right away after you buy it and you do better there. I can't tell you.
Only if Stabula or Joseph Carlson buys it. But no, I'm saying this with Realty Income. With the stocks that you said, I don't think any of them are like crazy value where like I justify maybe Starbucks, like below 80 Starbucks, maybe in the 70s, I justify it. And I actually might do that myself. I just don't. Visa, I think's at fair price. I think S&P Global's at fair price. A lot of those companies, like none of them are on crazy discounts where I could like justify it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I kind of just want to be in quality companies, and that's
MPW that. Quality.
Nah, but I kind of just want to be in quality companies that I'm confident will do really well, and realty income is just not one of those. I mean, you know, I could wait for a little spike up or something like that, but I feel like there's no point. I'd rather just keep my companies in high quality. I'd rather keep my money in the highest quality companies I could find, and that's kind of how I want to let it ride. And I've thought about it. Every time I looked at it, I thought this is the lowest quality company in my portfolio. I should sell it. Been talking about selling it. You know, sometimes you just got to do it, and I think I'm just going to do it.
We will pay to see that. We will pay to see that. Sell it on by buildings. No selling. Oh, but exactly what Fiscal said. We need to understand that sector before investing. A lot of the tenants are in trouble. I agree with you. I'm going to be honest. I think like that retail, like if you would have asked me like 3 or 4 years ago when I first bought my realty income, I would have said that retail's all safe. And I don't think it is now.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that lower quality, you could say retail that, you know, as thugs going inside of it, stealing, not doing dividend stocks, not drugs.
100%.
Yeah. John comes in and says, I do think Dividend Dude that you're not
All right,
quite
Steve.
getting the REITs.
All right, no. I understand real estate investment trusts. I'm long Vici, and that is one that I'm going to continue to hold, reinvest dividends, and I think could beat the S&P 500. I do understand REITs. It's just that realty income is too slow growing of a REIT for me to continue to want to hold the company. It's pretty simple.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely get that point. I'm not going to.
I'd never buy VOT income, I don't think.
Unless
I mean,
it
I'd
goes
rather
to-
buy realty income.
Starbucks for you.
Yeah. Oh,
Honestly,
Dividend Dude.
God.
Where did you get your Starbucks 130 estimate from on the low? Fiscal
I did
wanted
it.
to know.
I did a DCF.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. I you know, they're projecting 56,000 stores by 2030. I don't know if that's possible, but that's like their ideal projection. And I also think this is like way farther out, but I also think there's some potential for robots to be making their drinks maybe in like 10 years. Like that's way farther out. But I feel like that is a possibility with Starbucks, and I think that could expand margins even further.
A question about the DCF. Did you use a model where you like discounted the sum of future cash flows, or did you assume a terminal multiple?
I discount the sum of future cash flows.
What growth assumptions got you to $130, and what discount rate?
I think I usually discount around 8.5%, and then for growth, I think I put it like 11 or 12%.
Okay, so you went high on growth and low on discount rate.
But I genuinely think in an ideal situation, it can achieve those growth rates.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
would
that-
it be an ideal situation? I think that's kind of the question.
But like, you know, when you put in 8.5 as your discount rate, like, so you're happy with an 8.5% annual return on an individual stock?
No,
But that's what a discount rate is. That's your desired rate of return. So
I think discount rates aren't they just between like 8 and 9%, and then like if risk is higher, you put it higher, and then if risk is lower, you put
I go with 10.5, 12%.
So no, the point of the
that's a high
discount rate is supposed to be your desired rate of return. That's like
I thought it was just like a like if there was more risk, you put it higher. If there's less risk, you put it lower.
No, because you're so every investment, and I'm sorry to quote Paul Gabriel, but every investment is the present value of the future cash flow. So the reason you discount
wait, hold on. I just looked it up. It says represents risk and potential return. So we're both right.
So you want
Who's right? Who's
higher? You want a higher return on a company that has more risk. Like, so yes, that's why like in some cases I'll use like a 12%, you know, discount rate or something, because it's like, hey, this is risky as F, so I want a higher return if I'm right about the growth. But like 8.5, if you pay the price that you know, that it outputs when you put in an 8.5% discount rate, the model is telling you then that this is what you would pay. This is what you would get return wise if you pay this price. And if
you paid 130,
I'm not happy with
paying 85.
I'm not happy with an 8.5%.
But it's not 8.5%.
What's your estimated return on MPW?
It's not 8.5%.
Infinite.
No, from today's price, I think
Yeah,
probably 3 to 4 times.
I'm buying. No.
I think 3 to 4 times.
From my
Let's
cost
say.
basis, 2 to 2.5x.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The robots can't unionize. I know, Pierre. We could go on a rant about the unions. We don't like the unions here. And Guff's not gonna like that.
We need to do a prediction now. Tomorrow, what is MPW going to be?
Saturday.
That's the question. After all the
It's gonna be up
crazy news.
14.4%. That's what I'm saying, everybody. 14.4%. I'm the one who predicted the target up 20% in one day too. I have receipts for that, and I've it's my claim to fame. Target's doing like suspiciously good though, and there's not been any negative press around them. So I'm not saying I'm thinking of selling, but if it got to like 200, 220, I might have to. That would pain me to do it more than anything.
Do you have a prediction, Fiscal?
Sorry, what now?
Do you have a prediction? Not tomorrow, Monday, sorry.
Oh, on Monday, what MPW opens at, you mean? Or what it closes at?
Oh, maybe a rough average, I don't know. By eye. It's going to be crazy.
I mean, I think it opens maybe close. Remember when it got up to like 470 or 481 like recently? I think it may open around.
Up a bit, didn't it?
I think it'll open around that last like kind of high point it had after the Steward United Health thing came out. I think that's where it'll open. And then I think it closes maybe around 6. I don't know. These are just random guesses. Like I
feel very hard. Yeah, I'm bad at predictions. I'm gonna go maybe for a high one. I don't know.
So there was a lot of unusual options activity, which I think they expire next Friday. I believe that's the monthly for April. And a lot of the buys were in that like $5 to $6 option call strike price area. Like some whale out there bought like thousands and thousands of options.
No body shaming
on MPW. So assuming that person's right, that's probably UNH.
I want to talk about UNH here real quick.
Sweet.
Dividend Dude, I know you're talking about it, and I know Fiscal.
Yeah.
I think you said below 400. You're looking at it.
It's like I'll be taking a much closer. Like I mean, I've looked a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially at their their political contributions, just because I think the biggest possible bearish development for them would be more regulation, or possibly like a public option, something like that.
Yeah.
And it looks like they grease both sides pretty well. And so I'm pretty bullish on that not happening. So if they get cheap enough, I think, Papa could be a little bit interested.
I think my issue with it is, and I'll let both of you guys address this, is how big it is and like how much of a, diversified business they are.
But people need health insurance. They can raise those premiums.
Do people need 3M products?
Yeah, I suppose they do.
Okay, yes.
But I don't think UNH has is given out any defective ear plugs to any combat.
Okay, I'll go even playing ground here. Do people need Johnson & Johnson products?
I guess arguably, maybe
not.
Some of them.
No, but I think just it's recently like healthcare too. I have a video coming out.
But like health insurance is literally like something that just like kind of comes with full-time jobs in a lot of cases. Yeah. So you have actually the bulk of these premiums are paid by employers. Not even like they don't really need individual consumers to buy in. It's just and employers have like above a certain size, businesses have to offer insurance. So UNH just needs to sell, like basically it's a B2B operation for the most part. I mean, they might sell stuff on the exchanges, the Affordable Care Act exchanges, but for the most part, they're almost a B2B enterprise.
I'm circle of competency is like my big issue with them. I'd have to do a lot of research on the business that, I
do think there's statutory limits to like how much, like what percentage of the premiums they collect can be profit. Yeah. I think they have to use a minimum of 85% to pay out claims. So that can be a limiting factor, but overall, UNH does seem like one of the most competent operators. And again, like, you know me, like I'm not grabbing it unless it's cheap anyway, so I don't need there to be a ton of growth.
If Fiscal buys in, he's going to $100. You've heard it here.
Yeah, my video talks about it tomorrow. Shameless self-promotion. I feel like Fraser Perry.
Whoa.
I know,
All right.
but no, I just think that with a business of that size, there's so many different, I used 3M and Johnson & Johnson as the examples. There's so many different things that you have and offer to the public, but there's also so many more things that can go wrong.
Yeah.
And that I'm also reevaluating a company that I own and I have gains on, which is AbbVie too. Like pharma companies, I don't know. It's just circle of competency is something that I'm trying to improve on personally. And I'd be lying to myself if I ever say I completely understand.
This isn't like universal, but I would say in most cases, the more mature the business, probably the cheaper in general you want it to be for it to be worth it. Because as businesses grow and exponentially increase in size, eventually exponential growth ceases to be exponential. Nothing can grow exponentially forever.
NVIDIA doesn't apply for that.
Right. But no, this is the fallacy actually a lot of people have made with Tesla. Like, is it awesome? Is it going to grow a lot in the short to maybe medium run? Yeah. But they're talking about it's going to be worth like $2,500 by 2030 and all this.
6,000 by 2024.
Their market cap is going to be $50 trillion.
I project it's going to be worth the whole world's GDP by 2040.
You heard that, everybody, from the
$567.
Well, and that's the funny thing, because that's basically like that's not far off from like what Meet Kevin used to say about like his when he would do his like little spreadsheet where he would be like, they're going to be selling $1 trillion worth of cars, and they're going to be 100 PE and still growing, and they're going to sell like 3 times as many cars every year as Toyota, and like, bro, just no.
Yeah, oh my god. And then they had deliveries underwhelm, and somehow the company did not falter at all. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Their main they fell, but then they recovered right back up because of robotaxis. I don't know.
Yeah, Elon made a tweet about robotaxis. That's the thing with Tesla. Like, they don't necessarily have to deliver because like the fanatics are.
That was not financial advice, by the way. Do not buy Tesla.
But it's pretty much like if Elon does the right tweet, it can affect the price at least temporarily. So, and I don't have any. I actually don't have any issues with Elon and his tweets. I find them funny, but certainly seems like that was designed. Like it feels like that was designed to pump Tesla a little bit. That robotaxi, like, oh, the stock's down a lot. Robotaxis, guys.
Yeah. It was like incredible.
Could you imagine having that thought?
Right when the stock dropped, and
yet these short guys, these short sellers, like accuse MPW of like trying to like use news to manipulate their stock. We're like, bro, like to Elon says, hold my beer and watch me tweet, bro.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, there's a lot of shorts today.
We are at the 1 hour 18-minute mark, and that we are only missing one segment, Fiscal, and we're gonna do a bit of a transition. It's the know your role and shut your mouth segment.
Shut up, bitch!
Now, Fiscal, you're the one here who's surprisingly getting into a bit of the scraps here. Would you like to give the people a bit of a preview for tomorrow's premiered show?
Oh, are we talking about the pairing comment?
The fruit, yes.
Yeah. So, like, part of the whole MPW saga is that there is a large amount of short selling that's been going on, and it's based on research by one Viceroy Research. One of the guys that's a partner at Viceroy Research is apparently a fan. Maybe he's got a crush on me. I don't know what it is. But he keeps like coming into my comments, leaving like novels. in this latest one, he actually like plugged himself. So like I kind of got really pissed off and rage hit him from the channel. And I decided eventually to undo that, but it did end up deleting the comment. I did save screenshots though. But he's been talking about, I'm recording your videos so that you don't delete them later. It's like, no, you're afraid of the videos going away because that's your fat material, boy. All right. He's afraid of losing his spank bank is what it is, I think. Because like I have 1,700 subscribers. This guy is supposedly this guru of short selling, and he's coming onto my channel to leave comments to like scare the 500 people or whatever it is watching my video out of into selling their MPW shares. It's pathetic. So yeah, there's your preview.
I personally believe it's 50-50.
There we go.
No.
I don't think I have any know your role and shut your mouths for this week. I don't think. That finance guy, he keeps on blocking me on Twitter and he reposted me. There you go.
He stopped blocking me.
Yeah, it's whatever. It is.
He decided to unblock.
There's worse.
I don't think that guy's that bad. Didn't he say some dumb stuff about like credit cards?
No, he said that rich people don't use debt.
No, he said rich people never talk about their credit card rewards.
We follow each other, but
all he does is he quotes whatever Dave Ramsey or one of the personalities with no personality says on the show, and acts like, he basically acts like it's his own material on Twitter for some reason. And yeah, it's like the laziest approach to a social media account ever. But of course, people who agree with that message are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, that's true. That is bad."
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if it's more controversial, people have incentive to post controversial stuff, and I think that's kind of what he was going. Sometimes people don't actually believe like what they post. Some of the stuff that I post may be controversial, but it's stuff I actually believe. Like everything I post is something that I do believe and genuinely believe. I'm not going to post something just because of whatever and I don't believe it. Even if it's controversial, I believe it. So, I just think some people don't actually.
You had a wild ratio the other day. You said, no, there was a tweet. It was so funny. And you replied to it. And you said, no, there was a tweet and there was like some guy explaining how his mom or whatever got laid off in her LinkedIn or whatever. And he was like asking for advice and what to tell her. And you said, keep your head up. And the guy replied to it. And your comment got like 6 likes, but the one that replied to it got like 28.
Hold on. Let me look at this.
I'll pull up the screenshot.
Wait. No. Do not pull up the screenshot on stream. Let me look at this.
It was so funny, dude. I'm not even.
Wait, was it on? Okay, hold on. Let me see this.
Don't put it up on stream.
It was Barbell Financial.
Oh, I remember that.
Dude, I was laughing. And I saw the 20.
All right. See, relax. Let's see here. It's this one. Okay.
Inside the Twitter world with Dividend Dude. Oh, well, Dividend is pulling it up. Did OJ do it? That's our question for everybody.
That's not a ratio. I mean,
it was 19 to 8. That's a ratio.
Yeah, but he didn't say ratio. He meant it in he didn't mean it in like a mean way, like a ratio way. He just said something, and more people, I guess, agreed with what he said. I don't know.
That's kind of a ratio. I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah, no. Ratio would have ill intent. He didn't. Okay, whatever. I don't care.
OJ did it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I actually don't even know much about it.
But poor Stabula.
I actually got to watch the whole thing unfold live on Court TV. That's how old I am. In case anybody forgot. And yeah, but at the time, most people, or not most, but a lot of people wanted him to be found not guilty because the LAPD was racist or something. And that's really that's a big part of why he got acquitted. The LAPD did not have a good reputation at the time.
So did you ever see that video of OJ on the news? He was doing an interview after the murders or whatever, and he wouldn't talk about it with an ABC News woman. And then in the behind the scenes, they had a video. OJ thought this was some sort of a cool idea for a prank, and he opened the door. He's like,
oh, I think I remember hearing about that.
It's so fun. Instagram Reels are unhinged, everybody. I might buy Meta just for Instagram Reels. If the glove doesn't fit, you have to quit. That's right. All right. Yep. We are at the 1 hour 25 minute mark. What a pleasure. We only thought we'd be going for 45 minutes. So me and Fiscal got
too good.
yeah, we got to get to recording tomorrow's Frazier pairing call out video / weekly recap. So
Wait.
keep an eye
One
out.
thing.
Yeah.
What do you guys? I just want to hear some opinions on what do you guys think of Snap-on? If you heard of it, that's it.
Nothing really.
That's the tool
Oh,
company,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
No gaping urge or fetish for it for me.
I bought it right after earnings when I was at like 266, and I've had a solid run up. But
High quality compounder.
I think it is, but I think I'm just gonna hold it. But I was just like curious. I don't know if you guys were familiar with it.
What was the
No.
ticker?
SNA.
Just SNA. Oh yeah, that's the one where you you almost always accidentally end up getting Snapchat instead of
Yeah.
if you try to look it up. So my understanding is in the past, I don't know if this is still true, but pretty reliable at growing their dividend over time, if I'm not mistaken. Not crazy on the valuation. It's not trading at like a 46 PE or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
think
it's
a solid company.
you said you got it at like what now?
267 or something. Right after earnings, it dipped big, and I bought in.
That's probably pretty decent. They're pretty. They seem like they're pretty steady as she goes. Like not usually a lot of surprises from my understanding, and seems like for the most part they grow the right things over time, like slowly. Like you're not gonna 10x or anything. But
I mean, no, I think they have margin expansion over time as well, along with the revenue growth.
they inch up like the EPS, the net income, and they've got they're doing buybacks. Like I don't think they're too expensive for buybacks to be good.
Yeah.
And yeah, the dividend growth. Like, am I seeing that right? Like, is that 14% dividend growth?
Yeah.
Yeah,
16%.
like 14 or 15%.
14%.
And that's been pretty steady for a while. Yeah, I mean, you could do worse. You could do a lot worse.
I think it's just a compounder. I just want to. I don't know.
We're compounders. Just ingrained in my head now.
It buys back shares, grows their dividend. I mean,
Yeah, I suspect you'll probably do relatively decently on it. Like again, I don't think it's like a multi-bagger, like in a short time frame, but
it's like
I think you'll get probably low double-digit returns over time, like 11-12%, probably something like that.
I'm fine with that.
That's my sense of it. Their payout ratio is low, and yeah.
There we go. All right. We are at the 1 hour, 27-minute mark. Wow. What a conversation. First of all, thank you to everybody in the chat. This is a really fun show for a Friday night. Didn't know how it would go. Thank you guys very much. Once again, we have more 30-40 minute live for you guys tomorrow. Unfortunately, no live chat. We'll try. I think I'll be in the car on the way home.
I'll try to
tomorrow.
We'll
be in the chat. We'll be in the chat. All right. We're going to be discussing our weekly buys, sells, some of our top, best, and worst stocks for the year so far, talking about some long-term performance, so much more. So it's going to be a treat. If you guys haven't already, make sure to smash the like button. Also, check out Dividend Dude and Stabulo. More Stabulo just because he actually started a channel, and I'll leave a link to both of them in the description. He only does it for the money too. So even though
that's how he affords to have.
I need it.
He needs it.
I'm over here doing it for the principal, and all I can afford is these lousy tank tops.
How else is he going to be able to get all those MPW shares?
Coinbase down 7% today.
It's getting
bad for the yield max guys.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta have another. Oh man, one day we'll have somebody from them.
One day.
All right. Yeah, one day. Oh, next week I'll give a little spoiler. Why not? It's at the end of the show. Capital Mindset is set to come on, so that'll be a fun show. We might go like an hour and a half, 2 hours at that, because I think that could be a really long time.
That's gonna be a banger.
That will be. All right. So make sure you guys subscribe, turn on post notifications for that. That will be interesting. All right. Thank you all for watching. Smash the like button, subscribe to Dividend Stocks Not Drugs, and remember,
Dissector, you are an idiot.
cash flow is king.
King.
Oh yeah.